Hey, Tracy Kanoski here, www.healthylifestylesmt.com, different kind of dietitian. And today we're going to talk about 3 things you can do to support your hormones. And if you're a guy, don't tune out quite yet because I bet you know a woman. So there's some stuff here for you too. Okay, the 3 products we're going to talk about are 1, how to reduce menopausal hot flashes. 2, a product that can be used for mood swings and works fabulously, and I know, right? I've used it. And also a product that can bind estrogen so that it does not get reabsorbed in the small intestine and go round and round. So if you have a family history of estrogen positive cancers, if you, for whatever reason, genetics or you've done some hormone testing of your own and you're afraid of that whole thing, maybe you know that you have estrogen or excess estrogen. For whatever reason, how you know that in life, so it's possibly a product that could be of benefit to you. Of course, I have to tell you, you need to do your own testing, you need to talk to your doctor. I'm not just prescribing these carte blanche across the board. I have done my own hormone testing, which means I did a 24-hour urine collection, I sent it off to the lab, and I get back a report, and it tells me all the hormone pathways and the metabolites, which I think is important, and your doctor would know what that word is. Okay, product number 1 is Estrovera. It's made by Metagenics. It's typically a capsule a day, and personally I just use it when I have hot flashes. I don't use it all month long. I don't get horrific stuff, but for a few days a month, sometimes I have just some mild hot flashes where I'm opening the door and standing outside for a second, even if it's winter. Estrovera works great. It's also, or the component in it, the ingredient is Siberian Rhubarb, just so you know. So it's an herbal product. Again, works great. I've used it for quite some time. Okay, product number 2 is Indole-3 Carbinol, and it's usually sourced with DIM, Di-Indole-Methionine, and that works fabulously for mood swings. I don't even get offended if Johnny just sort of sets it on the counter and says, hey, you know, because I can tell when I wake up in the morning if maybe I ate something wrong the day before. Certainly if you're stressed out, that'll change your hormones. The better functioning your adrenal glands are going into menopause, the less issues you're going to have with any of the menopausal changes. But all that said, and I do know that I tend to be obsessive compulsive, work very hard, and so my adrenals are always sort of running on empty. So anyway, Indole-3 Carbinol with some Di-Indole-Methionine or DIM is a fabulous product to use personally as needed, just for kind of a moody day. It does affect what's called the 2:16 hydroxy ratio, and you can push that too far. There's a healthy place for that. So again, it's really important to do testing. My guess is that if you just used it for a week, a month for some mood swings, you're not going to push that ratio too far, but I do think testing is important, and I have done mine and I know where my ratio is. The third product that I want to talk about is called calcium D-glucarate, and let's have a little biochemistry or a little physiology lesson here. We all know that your liver does the detoxification work for us, right? But your liver in and of itself can't get rid of any toxins. It has to secrete them into the small intestine, and then they continue to pass through and leave. But so there are enzymes that cleave that bond. They get conjugated in the liver, they can get unconjugated in the small intestine, which really means that if your body has made estrogen, used it, is planning to have it excreted, so it does the conjugation work through the liver, and it gets back to the small intestine and it gets unconjugated, it goes round and round for another time, for free this time, but now you're at the risk of being excess estrogen. So what calcium D-glucarate does is it acts like a magnet, grabs that estrogen, and doesn't give it the opportunity to unconjugate and go round and round again. Get it? So it acts like a magnet, and it says, hey buddy, we're leaving. Or a chauffeur, that's a good way to think of it. It's going to escort it out. So those are the 3 products: Estrovera for menopausal hot flashes, Indole-3 Carbinol / Di-Indole-Methionine or DIM for mood swings, but you do need to be careful about that 2:16 ratio and pushing it too far, because you can have actually some bone loss if it goes too far one direction. and calcium D-glucarate to bind that extra estrogen in the gut, or even just the estrogen that's trying to be excreted. But if you are afraid of, legitimately so, of estrogen sensitive cancers because of a family history, because you know your genetics, whatever, calcium D-glucarate is a great product to bring in. Again, talk with your doctor. If you don't have a source to get these, Nutridyne carries all of these things, and on my website under the orange bar there's a page called supplements, and you can set up an account there and get access to them. All the accounts get 15% off. I'm not here to sell you stuff, but some of these things are, you know, they're nice little tricks to help you get through life and not be, you know, kicking the dog off the porch as you go to work in the morning. So I hope it helps, even just to know about them, because maybe you're young and you don't need this information yet, but you know, down the road, you never know. All right, take care. I'll see you next week.